ain't seen it, well, we're gonna spoil it.
Spoil it in your face.
That's your warning. So if you get pissed, it's all your fault. Woo-hoo. Woo-hoo. My Lord, Lord, Lord. Oh, my Lord, Lord, Lord. Welcome to the podcast. Oh, my Lord, Lord, Lord. Medium popcorn. Oh, my Lord, Lord, Lord. Brandon's back. Yeah.
What's up, everybody? So, I'm surprised you're so cheery, Justin. I heard you talking smack for 4 episodes straight. I was like, damn. All right, maybe I should just quit. Like, damn. All right. No, but shout out to Tati for covering for me. Really
Indeed.
appreciate it. What's up, everybody? Yeah, I'm back to talk about slavery. Well, they were free. Question mark.
No. A lot of them actually, they
were going to
really
give freedom. They were supposed to give freedom if they lived.
I mean, a lot of these guys were actually runaway slaves.
Yeah,
who basically came back, to fight for to make sure that they stayed free.
I mean, not just to fight for freedom, though, right? To fight for a meal, to fight for shelter? Question mark.
Shoes.
Well, they didn't get shoes for a while.
Yeah, Denzel had them jacked up feet. He had them wild hammer toes.
Yeah, they all had some fucked up feet, man. Yeah, that was. Denzel won an Oscar. He won his first Oscar for this movie, and rightfully so. The one single tear.
Yep.
I had never seen this movie.
Hey guys, this is Justin. This is Medium.
Oh, yeah, you're Justin Brown. Yeah, I had never seen this movie in its entirety.
Huh? What's that?
Sorry, I said I had never seen this movie in its entirety.
Neither did I. Neither have I.
I only seen that one tear scene, and then when Morgan Freeman slaps Denzel, I was like, there's very few men that could get away with slapping Denzel.
Yeah,
and Morgan Freeman's one.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, we were Medium Popcorn spoiling the 1989 Edward Zwick film Glory, starring Matthew Broderick, Denzel Washington, Carrie Elves, Morgan Freeman, Andre Braugher, R.I.P., and a lot of great black actors in this film. One was nominated for 5 Academy Awards, won 3, with Denzel Washington winning Best Supporting Actor, in addition to receiving some Golden Globes, as well as being nominated for a BAFTA for Best Cinematography, which I imagine back at this time, this is a gorgeous film. I mean, it still looks pretty good, despite, the scene where they're charging by the little black kids, and one of them has a watch. Did you peep that? Yeah, one of the extras is waving, watch on their wrist.
Love that.
To be fair, I've been doing enough film shoots the past few weeks where specifically working with kids, that's a nightmare. So I can't imagine doing a period piece and then working with youths and trying to get them to help you with continuity. You know what I mean?
Wait, Brandon, were you on a Nickelodeon set? What were you doing?
It was for Peacock. It was for Poker Face, actually.
Oh, nice. Love that show.
Yeah. I was on season 2. It was the school scene with the kid. You gotta watch episode 2. It's like you'll know it's the episode with the kid, and it's like a hamster or some shit. That's the episode. I was playing a parent in the background.
Oh. Okay.
It was cool though. I got to meet Alan Arkin. Is that his name? Alan Arkin. He's like a director. He did like Sons of Anarchy. He was in Halloween H2O, and then I met the one actress from Justified. Fuck, she won a Grammy Emmy for it too. But I'm blanking. Yeah. It was interesting seeing like working actors that like have awards. Just their green room is like an actual like prep room in a school. Like they're actually like in a teacher's lounge because they have nowhere else to go. You're like, oh, okay, that's TV.
Like, oh, whatever. It's the same shit. AK, it's the same shit.
Yeah.
They don't get that much better. What's that?
True. I was gonna say, I wonder what Holden was like on the set of Glory. You know what I mean? Like,
it's probably
I was wondering that if like they try to keep it as realistic as possible, like they all just stuck together, like whenever they were, doing takes and like stuff. But like people were going to trailers or whatever was available back in the late 80s. You know what I
mean? At the same time, they could have very well been going to trailers. The Holding was probably,
I mean, the trailers and whatnot would have probably just been far away from set to make sure that it didn't get caught, on film, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, but I imagine especially if you were doing extra work, you were, yeah, it was going to be shitty.
Oh yeah, that's a rough. I haven't done extra work on like Gilded Age and shit when there's a lot of people in costume and shit. Oh yeah, those were some long, probably hot days,
Mm-hmm.
hot sweltering days. Because this takes
I mean,
place during the Civil War.
yeah. I mean, well, and the thing is, the filming, mostly took place in Massachusetts and Georgia. So, depending on what time of year that is, especially when you're in that hot Georgia sun. Ooh,
Georgia?
daddy. Georgia.
Yeah, because it works out with that, like, because of the time period and like when these battles took place. Because, one, it's really expensive to do winter stuff, but then two, like, it works for the aesthetic if like these motherfuckers are all sweaty and looking disheveled. It works because they're soldiers. They're not going to be pristine and all that stuff. You know what I mean?
And they want to push you to your limits.
Oh yeah, I mean, but that one Irish sergeant he was going way too hard. Like, what the fuck, man? These are your soldiers.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he don't care. He's there to make them hardened soldiers. So, I mean, that's the thing with like boot camp is like their whole thing is to push you to the fucking limit to the point where you guys bond together through trauma. But you bond together and then you start looking out for each other because you have to start working as a unit because if one gets in trouble, everybody's getting in fucking trouble. So then you start picking up the slack for other people. Well, I mean, like that's the thing, it also brews resentment and then people fucking get hurt.
Sure.
But like that's the whole idea behind it. Is just like, I'm going to make you guys a team and I'm going to put you in the worst situations until you learn that you need the other guy beside you. And then you start trusting other people because they're the only person that, that's going to get you through these hard days, AKA trauma bonding.
Yeah, that's true. So what's Glory about? Glory takes place during the American Civil War. It follows Captain Robert Shaw, played by Matthew Broderick, who we open with him being injured at the Battle of Antietam. I don't know if I said that right. And he returns home to Boston on medical leave. And, his family, they're rich abolitionists and stuff like that. They believe in equal rights. They have Frederick Douglass at their house, which, I wrote down my notes. I'm like, this is back before they had any black, care products for us. So this motherfucker was using marmalade and whatever grease they had to get that hair just right. And he, I can imagine how itchy that beard was, and the scalp.
Well,
you know what I mean?
I know, but I mean the alternative was was far worse.
True. Yes, absolutely. That's the least of his problems back then. That was the least of his concerns.
Exactly.
It wasn't like, hey, let me make sure I got this. I got an itchy scalp. Like you might have an itchy fucking back. Oh shit.
Jesus.
Never mind.
Jesus.
Why I do that? During Black History Month. What the fuck am I doing?
I mean, but it's true. No, I mean, but you're speaking truth.
Yeah, I mean,
like,
think about Denzel's character.
Yeah.
I mean, you're right. I'm thinking about hair products, and I'm like, that's how removed we are from the struggle. Like, I thought about this movie. I thought a lot during when I was watching this movie. It's on Netflix, by the way, folks, as of the time of this recording.
Yeah,
and I was thinking about like whether or not people will fight like this for America now. You know what I mean? Like, I know I wouldn't really want to. I'd be hesitant. Like, there had to be a draft to get me to be a part of the war. I'm not going to voluntarily but then it's also like American pride, I think, is so distant. Like that idea of fighting for your country, I think is so far removed from like societal thoughts. Like I went from like watching this movie to like going on the train where like kids are fucking harassing older people, taking up seats that are like, these kids took up a seat that like a woman and her like kid in a stroller were trying to get, and then these kids just took it. These teenagers, they didn't give a fuck. And then like you go on TikTok and you see people just bouncing their titties and like wearing clown costumes, talk about that
but Brandon,
end of days, and you're like, what are we doing?
I think it comes down to is what is worth fighting for, right? And something has to be worth fighting for people to stand up and actually be willing to put their life on the line, right? Yeah. Is it titties bouncing on TikTok? Maybe that's what it is. Or is it, or the threat has to be big enough that unites this country in a way that it hasn't been in quite a number of years. I don't know what that is. I don't know when that's going to happen. Eventually something will happen. But, I think right now we are very far removed from that, because of all the bullshit that's going on. And, I've been trying not to, there's Macho. I've been trying not to get dig deep into everything that's been going on. But I feel like we're getting to the point where you can't not talk about it. You can't not address it because it's fucking maddening, So I think I've been posting a little bit more and resharing things, but all I'm going to say is this. This is the only thing I'm going to say. I know we should be minding our black ass business because we ain't do this. But at the same time, remember, we are going to be, our time is coming because it always comes back to us. They're doing it to other people, but they're going to come for us. They're already coming for us, but they're just taking a fucking detour to fuck with other people, and it's gonna swing right back to the blacks. So don't get too comfortable. We ain't gonna be able to mind your business too long because I don't know.
Yeah, possibly. I don't know, man. I'm I think things are getting so wonky that eventually, there's talk of economic, walkouts and stuff like that. I think if we start hitting these rich people where it hurts, that might be the next move, because protesting, as much as I think that's powerful and definitely needed, this administration doesn't care about it. So, you have to hit them where it hurts, and it hurts them in their pockets. When we can fuck with their money, that's what's going to really make an impact. But anyways, let's go back in time when things were just as bad, but in a different way.
Much simpler.
Oh, man. Jesus Christ, dude. It's it's always been tough. Not life is hard, right? Life is hard. History shows us that, that people never know there's no such thing as a free lunch, right? But the things that this platoon went through. But let's first talk about, okay, so Robert Shaw, again, played by Matthew Broderick, he is basically offered the role of colonel for the 54th Regiment in Massachusetts Volunteer Infantry, which would be one of the first black regiments in the Union Army. And then he asked his friend Cobot Forbes, played by Carrie Elves, who apparently they did not get along in the making of this movie, probably because Carrie Elves is probably I should be the lead, which I'm not going to lie, he probably should have been. Because I don't really know why Matthew Broderick got this role. He is by far the weakest link acting-wise in this movie.
Yeah, he is.
But it's by a mile, dude. It's crazy. He's not terrible in it, but he's just so lackluster compared to Morgan Freeman, Denzel, Andre Braugher, even Carrie Elves, even though a lot of his role got cut, it's still he pops off the screen. You know what I mean?
No, and you are 1,000% correct. I think the main reason that Matthew Broderick got this is because General Shaw, or is it Colonel? I can't remember.
Well, it's Colonel it's Colonel.
Yeah, so Colonel Shaw was 26 years old when he died at that battle. So I think the younger look was what they were going for, and while yes, Matthew Broderick and Carrie Elves, the skill level for this film was definitely very visible, but I think Carrie Elves does look far more grown than Matthew Broderick does in this thing, and he brings that fucking hopeful innocence to the role a little bit more. I think if it were Carrie Elves, it would have been. Actually, no. I think he would have done a better job with it, honestly. But I think they were going for a younger look with it to show how young and inexperienced he actually is.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's wild though, because I guess because of his war history, that and obviously his role, that he earns the respect of the other soldiers pretty quickly. Forbes is pretty loyal to him and stuff like that. He does question him one time, and then like Matthew Broderick's like, "Don't question me, my authority in front of the other soldiers." And you're like, okay, and like that's it. Because they also imply that Forbes, does he have a drinking problem? Is that why he's so sweaty in that opening scene, or is it just hot?
Well,
when he asked him to join him, you know, after he's already talked, Forbes comes out, he's like, "They're going to give the colors guns. That's madness." It's like, "Hey, you want to join me and help and train these coloreds?"
He's like, ain't nobody want to follow me. He's just like, "Hey, I'd be glad to have you with me. Please, I need help."
Yeah.
Basically what he did. He was begging him. But he was partying. So like, yeah, he was drinking and whatnot. But also they're on the heels of that battle that they both narrowly survived.
Yes.
And, you know, Matthew Broderick obviously had PTSD.
Yeah. He gets rattled.
When that nigga's head blew up, he turns around, "Come on, pow!" I was like, "Yeah, damn."
Yeah, I mean, war's fucking crazy, dude. Like, and like that, this is cinematic. This is like for film.
Mm-hmm.
So you know that in real life, this shit's way more gory. It's just a mind fuck. I can't. Yeah. It's, you know, there's no Steven Spielberg or Edward Zwick yelling cut. You know, like there's no cut when you're out in the field of battle and shit. And that's what's so crazy about. That's what's so crazy about American Civil War reenactments. Like, why would you want to do that? Like, you know what I mean?
Well, all right.
People do that for hobby.
Yes, but that's a thing. If like, you know, up until World War I, war was seen as this valiant thing, and it's like people wanted to go to war because there was like, you know, I could go to war and come back a hero. My life changes. I'm a different person, and I'm looked at, you know, in a different way. And war wasn't the modern warfare that we have today, which is on another level. It kind of started in fucking World War I with like chemical warfare, trench war, and like just the wild shit that war became. It's just like, nah, we killing everybody. You know what I'm saying? So like these guys at this point still had that old outdated feel of just like we're going to go out there and we're going to put our best foot forward. And you know, cause we're gentlemen fighting on the field for what we believe in, as opposed to it's like, oh, this is a fucking meat grinder, nigga. They gonna grind this up. And, you know, so this is kind of the beginning of the shift. Cause once you had, you know, like bigger explosions and, you know, the kind of technology, like took war to another level. Like this is where people really started to get fucking PTSD and all that shit. So, you know, especially with guns just starting to become far being upgraded.
Yeah. 100%. I loved Andre Braugher in this movie as Thomas Searles. You know, he's a free black. We established that very quickly because he's at this party with like, you know, Robert Shaw and Kobat and stuff like that. And he's immediately like, "Sign me up." I was just like, oh brother, oh boy. And you know, we meet other recruits and stuff like that. And that includes Morgan Freeman's character, Denzel Washington's character. There's a mute boy drummer there. And then one of the guys is like a sharpshooter. Like he kind of like comes off kind of slow, but he's actually a really good shot. You find out later on. I always love characters like that like you underestimate because maybe like they have like a disability or something like that, but then they're really good at one thing that's going to benefit you as a team. You know,
but he's also and that's because he was from South Carolina. He's just like, yeah, because I shoot squirrels all the time. He hunts squirrels for dinner. Yeah. So you know what I'm saying. Yeah. So like, yeah, he has to be a decent shot.
Mm-hmm. Gotta make them. I've been shooting squirrels in Red Dead Redemption 2.
What's that?
I've been shooting squirrels and like shit like that in Red Dead Redemption 2.
Tell me about it, Brandon.
Man, it's fun. It's very therapeutic. I mean, I do go around the town just like fucking, if you step to me the wrong way in Red Dead Redemption 2, before like earlier in the game, I was like forgiving shit. It's like confront or like, you know, like let them pass on the way. Nah, if you block my road and then you're going to show me a gun, say go back the other way. Nah, homie.
We fighting?
Oh yeah, I'm taking out everybody and I'm going to steal your shit. Don't fuck with me on Red Dead Redemption 2,
maybe I need to download it. Maybe I need to blow off some steam by fucking blowing off some skulls.
Dude, it's so much fun, man. Because it's not like GTA where like you drive fast and stuff. You're like on a horse and you go in real time to like a destination. It could take you like 20 minutes to get to a mission. It can take you a long time. If you take the scenic route, yeah, it's fun though. It's like chill. I'm just an old West fucking doing my thing as Arthur. Yeah.
Is that your character's name?
That's the main character's name. I can't like customize it. It's not. This isn't.
No. I didn't know that. Like maybe you can make your own.
You really never played Red Dead Redemption? I thought you loved GTA.
I do. I just never got. I never.
Yeah,
played
man.
Red
It's like
Dead
a Western
Redemption.
GTA.
Well, you know what it is. You know what it is because I just got a PlayStation. Last year. So it's like I haven't really just jumped deep dived into the games. Maybe I'll download it and I'll play it while I'm on the road.
You're an Xbox boy.
Yeah.
Poor choice. Anyways, we didn't get free just so you could go Xbox only, Justin. Okay, there are options.
Did you say we didn't get free?
Give us free. So after the Emancipation Proclamation, the men of the 54th Volunteer Infantry are told that the Confederacy will execute any black soldiers captured in Union uniform along with their white soldiers. But despite this threat, the 54th recruits, they still show up to train.
Yeah, because basically they had an out. Well, also like they'll be executed or they'll be taken back into slavery.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and at that point it's like fuck it.
Yeah,
may as well fight.
I'm gonna die anyways.
Yeah, because at this point people are estranged from family, like, or maybe all their family's gone. Some of these men probably didn't have much to lose at this point. Besides, I'm not going back to slavery. Like, if I can make at least one decision in the rest of my life going forward, it's going to be I'm not going back.
Well, I mean, like, like Morgan Freeman's character, he says like he left his family behind, right? So he left his children, all of his boys, whatever. He left them all behind, and he was basically the gravedigger for the Union Army. That he was already a part of this, anyways. And then he enlisted to be a soldier. Excuse me. Then he enlisted to be a soldier because he felt like he could do more. Like, yeah, that is the epitome of just like, yeah, I'm ready for all the smoke because like. If this falls, if this fails, it's just like his life is directly going to get worse than it already is. So it's just like the only thing he can do is kind of win, even in death. It's like in a way it's kind of a win because at least the suffering is over. But you can hope that things get better for your family.
And this is what I want. I know we have quite a few white listeners for this podcast, right? And like we're pretty down the middle and stuff like that. We try not to alienate anybody, or we try to entertain and stuff like that. But think about that. If you were a white person listening to this episode, right? Think about like how generations of that mentality carried on, and the trauma of that. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, that's not something that just goes away. And it's not like black people embrace therapy and mental health support. You know what I mean? Like, it's not part of our programming. It's not part of our culture, right? Or at least it wasn't until the past, I would say 3-4 years where it's been pretty accepted.
No, until COVID, where everybody started realizing it's just like, being alone and being fucking locked in a cage, whether it be like literal or just mental, is a detriment to every aspect of my life. Yeah.
And I think that's where so many people, like especially white people, particularly, because this is reference to them, they get so like defensive when white privilege comes up. It's like white privilege isn't just like you and your situation right now and being able to do X, Y, and Z. It's about you having the ability to have a mindset where you don't have to worry about things because for generations in your family, y'all haven't had to worry about that. It's not just about now. And that's where we as a country in general are just so self-centered and think about us right now. Like people are forgetting about civil rights leaders, bro.
Yeah.
They're forgetting about those movements, like And it's crazy. I mean, I bet if you ask so many young black people right now about John Lewis, who is that? They'd be like, who?
Yeah.
Is that the guy who has the grills? Like, no, that's George Foreman. Yeah. It'd be kind of scary, man.
Well,
and that's why,
bro,
watching.
Look what they do to older generations. You know what I'm saying? They lambast them. Like the way that people talk about Michael Jordan, like Michael Jordan wasn't fucking, that nigga. You know what I'm saying? Or the way that, just like, so, I picked Michael Jordan, right? But and I'm talking sports now, but like that also shows how they're just like people couldn't be good back then. Because we're at the peak of evolution at this point. Like that's the way people think now, which is absolutely completely backwards. Because without the technology that we have now, it's just like we still survived and we still push forward. And people, forget that shit. Like even boxing. Floyd Mayweather, like, oh, Floyd is the best. There's a nigga named Sugar Ray Robinson who was a monster on this earth with a pair of gloves in his hands, and people act like that guy didn't fucking exist.
Yep.
Like, that's what the world is now. People talk about fucking Jake Paul like he's the fucking second coming when he ain't shit. But this is the world that we live in now.
It is. It's definitely the world.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, it's wild too. I mean, and to your point about the GOATs, like, right? Like you talk about Michael Jordan, Sugar Ray Robinson, and stuff. I think about Denzel. I wrote down my notes because Denzel plays, it's not sergeant. He's a private trip.
No.
Private trip. And he's accused of going AWOL when actually he was looking for shoes. And so he gets flogged. That's basically like being whipped. And, he's removed the shirt in front of everybody. Everyone sees his scars from slavery and the whippings, the beatings that he received from that. And he's just staring Matthew Broderick in the eyes, like the most intense Denzel stare. And like, it's like a long shot. Just a long shot on Denzel. And just, within 45 seconds, we get that one tear burst out his eye. And then that's when I was like, oh yeah, that's when he won the Oscar. But that's also, all these actors had to be on that set and be like, that's him. That's the guy. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like Denzel, when Denzel passes and time comes for all of us, I think that's going to be, I might cry. I think I'm really going to cry. It's going to be a really hard day.
Yeah.
Same with Morgan Freeman. I mean, Morgan Freeman got some, he's done some questionable things. He's done some weird shit, but same. Like, I mean, like that voice, that iconic voice, his presence always makes a movie better.
Bro, fucking James Earl Jones. Like when James Earl Jones, like that was like a moment of silence, a moment. Like you got to take an opportunity that, like, oh shit, we lost James Earl Jones.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And James Earl Jones isn't a bigger name as fucking Morgan Freeman was. Because James Earl Jones was like, well, I mean, I guess when it really comes down to it, black actors weren't given the same opportunities at his time.
And that's also, so that's the thing is, right? Morgan, like, that's why I'm like, Morgan Freeman, I'm going to be hurt and sad. Denzel, there's been rumors, but there's never been anything that like stuck. And I think he's so loved that I think if anything really controversial would have come out about him, it would have already happened. James Earl Jones, that one surprised me because when he passed, a lot of black women, especially in film and entertainment, came out about his attitude towards black actresses. Yeah. And I'm not like, I have no counter to that or anything like that, but I was actually quite surprised by how many people came out and said, yeah, he did some great work and had a huge impact and stuff, but he also did this bullshit. And so it's that's why I think for Denzel, that's gonna be like a universal, everyone's gonna be like, fuck. Yeah. So
yeah, man, I kind of liken it to the Michael Jackson effect, right? It's just like, I remember it was like maybe 2 years before Michael Jackson died. And I remember saying to my friend, like, yo, when Michael Jackson dies, like the world is gonna fucking cry. And I've never seen the world. Now, mind you, I wasn't alive for the assassination of JFK, right?
Okay.
But I would go on. I would gather that Michael Jackson's death was a bigger deal than even JFK. Only because in this country, probably JFK yet more, but
yes,
globally,
yes.
Globally, people adored and loved Michael Jackson to a level I don't think we're ever going to see that ever again. Honestly.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like, I would say globally, maybe the only other like celebrity would be Tom Cruise, just because he's that big, international, everything. But yeah, Michael Jackson by far, but just because even the estimates for this Michael Jackson biopic that's coming out soon, it's estimated that it's going to get to $1 billion, probably mostly because of international.
Yeah.
Because internationally, they don't deal with the kind of controversy that we have over here in America about his behavior and stuff. I don't know what that's about, but it's like a non-factor for a lot of international countries. For some reason.
So, I mean, also probably maybe MJ, because he is like one of those global icons. Like
you just said MJ.
No, I'm talking about no, Michael Jordan.
Oh, okay. No.
But yeah, because he has.
No,
I mean, I mean,
his legacy,
his legacy, it's different, but it's just like, but Michael Jordan and Kobe, they're very kind of on the same wavelength.
Yeah,
but Michael Jordan's bigger than Kobe. Like Kobe's here, Michael Jordan's like 20-fold of him.
I hear you, but both of them have, controversies in their past for various reasons and stuff. They obviously, Kobe had a very tragic death with his daughter and stuff like that. And that will always be a terrible tragedy, right? I think Jordan, the issue with him was you had The Last Dance, brilliant docuseries, but holy shit, that if you didn't know Michael Jackson was kind of an asshole, you definitely knew after seeing that.
You mean Michael Jordan? But actually, Jordan, you know what? You realize that like people liked him more because of that. Because it was his competitive edge.
Justin, they did until his son started acting like fools out in these streets. Now it becomes like dude, that's hurt his reputation a lot because his sons have been acting like fucking drunken assholes out here in these streets. They're getting in trouble. It's the same thing that's happening to Diddy's kids. Like you can't have all the family acting like fucking assholes and shit and being wild. Obviously, those are different situations, but it is a reflection of the father, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's a reflection of Michael Jordan. And these kids are going around telling cops like, "I'm Michael Jordan's son. What the fuck are you gonna do?" Like they're wild out here, and so that has definitely hurt his reputation as legacy.
Yeah, but at the same time, this guy for 20 years is on the road playing basketball. Like that's something that happens.
You should have been a lawyer
to any kid. No. I'm just saying. I should have been.
You should have been because you Johnny Cocker the shit out of anything. I've seen you like you. I can see you get backed into a corner, or not even backed into a corner. It's just like we're having a conversation. You're just like, you know what? I hear you, and that's the end of this. Having said that, you know what I mean? You be doing the rebuttals and shit in court.
But Brandon, I also I think part of that also is because they are black. They are children of a black megastar, right? So that gets highlighted on a different level than other people. The other people, because one thing we do know is that white stars' children are substantially worse. White billionaires' children are substantially worse. So
look at David Ellison.
But anyhow, back to this wonderful movie,
so,
Glory, 1989.
So Robert Shaw, he starts gain the trust of his soldiers and stuff, especially when he confronts the racist Irish quartermaster who's just at one point he just beats the shit out of Andre Braugher's character. So actually, got this grown man sobbing and shit.
That's the thing though. I think it wasn't that. Because when he asked him that, he was just like, you grew up with him, right? He's your friend?
Yeah.
He's like, yes, we grew up together. It's just like, we'll let him grow up. So he got worse. He got more complacent.
Yeah.
And he let him do whatever. The thing that really turned him is when he was going to, when Private Tripp was being flogged, and Tripp looking at him is like, oh, okay, so we back in slavery now, huh?
Yeah.
And he didn't break, but before that, Carrie L's character looking at him as being like, "Yo, like you can't fucking whip these guys, especially where they come from it's not good optics. Like, you can't do this.
Yeah, and that came full circle with. Sorry.
God.
No, that came full circle though with the other platoon, right? That the infantry that they encountered were that psychopath white dude was like having these black soldiers fucking pillaging towns and stuff, and he's like, we got to burn it to ground to erase the evidence, basically.
He basically was doing like Nazis.
Yeah, turning citizens against black soldiers. So like, the N-word soldiers, they're out here fucking, and that creates resentment for generations. You know what I mean? Like, it's all like. And Matthew Broderick just staring at this dude, but because that guy outranked him, he's like, he got to follow orders. That shit was fucking crazy, man.
I would have shot him right there.
But then you get court-martial and probably executed.
And ain't nobody going to say shit. Who's going to say something? Those black soldiers going to say something? My black platoon? You know what I'm saying?
Maybe.
He would have been like, I'd have you court-martialed and da-da-da-da, and then your platoon would be mine. Like, pow, it's over. It's like, ain't nobody saying nothing. It's just like, and I'm going to treat you guys like the way that you should be treated. You shouldn't have to do any of this bullshit. It's just like, let's act like you guys are human beings. I'm pretty sure every black soldier is that, but then again, that's also why I'm no longer involved with the military because of shit like that.
Yeah. I don't know if it would have worked out that good. I don't think Robert Shaw would have been, he also dies later on in this movie.
Well, yeah.
Because this whole story is based off his journal entries back home, right? That's what the opening said.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is like past the time when people were just doing duels, right? They stopped doing that after Alexander Hamilton died?
No, people are doing that.
Why didn't you just challenge him to a duel?
No, just kill that nigga.
I'm just saying, like, if you could get some soldiers to support it, like, like it's a fucking WWE match, you just pow,
Because, well, also, he's got PTSD, right? Yeah. It's probably not going to work in his favor because the whole thing is just like you got to be So do you know Andrew Jackson used to have duels all the time?
Yeah.
Right? And do you know his big thing with why he won so many duels?
Because he cheated.
No, what he would do is he would allow them to shoot first. So the rules of the duel, because the rules of the duel is the first person takes that shot, you missed, and the other person can basically just line up and take their shot. They have their time, right? So basically, what he was going off is like, I don't know, I need to get water. It's like, okay, so you're rushing to turn around and shoot. It's just like the likelihood of you hitting something vital and killing me is low because you're stressed. You're missing. You may miss and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But with but if I don't really get like a mortal wound, I could line your ass up and then you gone.
Got it. Okay.
So like but he's the guy who's gonna miss and die. It's
Put not in his best. Ain't no higher. Yeah, imagine he just started spitting some Hamilton because he's a fucking time traveler. All right.
Or the producers.
Yeah. When he has to tell those black soldiers that the federal government has cut their pay compared to their white counterparts by $3, man, when Denzel started that whole fucking, rebellion, that was a great, he was like, tell them no, rip up your sheets. And then he reveals the fucking blue outfits, especially to that one soldier that was like so eager to get one. I was like, oh damn, they got him.
Yeah, basically they're fucking Bubba Gump. Glorious Bubba Gump.
Shit.
That's who he was. He stuttered. He fucking he was a great shot because Bubba was a good soldier.
Yeah, there was definitely, didn't Edward Zwick? No, that's Robert Zemeckis who did good Forrest Gump. I thought it might be the same director. No, this guy did like The Last Samurai or some shit. He does like these epic war movies and stuff. But
okay.
Yeah, I did laugh though, and it's fucked up because at the last, and we'll get to like the final attack at Fort Wagner or whatever. That reminded me of a thing from the South Park movie when we were going, like, America was going to war with Canada, and they put the black platoon at the front.
Operation Human Shield.
That one dude was like, "Do some people going to die?" And I was like, "Oh, this is a parody of Glory." Like, because I finally saw the movie, so I was like, oh, like, because I didn't know they all died at the end, basically.
Well, they didn't all die. Half of that in real life, half of the 54th was it infantry died or whatever. Yeah, so half of them died. Half of them died, including Shaw, Carrie Elves' character. Carrie Elves' character. I can't remember his name. Forbes.
Shaw.
Forbes. So a lot of the commanding officers died. So yeah. I mean, I think for this film, they killed off all the main characters.
Yeah. From a screenwriter perspective, Kevin Jarre is the screenwriter for this. It's a good full circle moment for Matthew Broderick's character, Robert Shaw, just because him freezing up at the beginning before he gets injured to then being the guy that leads his scared infantry against enemy lines. And it's a failed attack, by the way. I thought that was a good moment. I mean, this is a good war movie. You know, I don't see many movies that take place during the Civil War like this. So I thought it was a good one. You know, we follow after the soldiers are trained. You know, they go to battle finally because Matthew Broderick really fights for them to get the proper equipment, proper boots, uniforms, and then to also go into battle because these soldiers want to fight. They don't want to just be labor because that's basically kind of what their task was like. They're doing manual labor again, like you said, slavery again, and they're like, we want to fight.
But also, like of anybody who has a vested interest, it's them. Yeah. They're literally fighting for their lives.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that's the thing that it seemed like nobody was getting. It's just like nobody's going to fight harder than these guys. That's what when they saw those white Union soldiers, they were just like, oh no, we'll go there. We'll take care of them. We ain't losing these. So you know what? Hold on. A quick break. Because I just want to say, if anybody is listening to this podcast, and if you're a teacher, something like that, this is what you should be showing to your kids. You should be showing this movie to your kids.
Talked about her. They showed this to her during Black History Month in her school.
Yeah, they didn't show this shit to me when I was in school.
They didn't show it to us either. Yeah, it's ironic because Ann Arbor, they're all liberal and stuff, or they were. I don't know what it's like now. It might be more conservative, but they wouldn't show slavery movies really. And stuff I would have to watch this separate, and for some reason I just only saw clips of it.
Same.
Yeah, it's weird. It was good seeing it for the first time because one, I thought for some reason this movie was gonna be 3+ hours, and so it was a little over 2 hours. I'm like, oh, that's not bad. Almost to the point where I was like, I actually would have wanted more story to learn more about the soldiers and what was motivating them. Because it kind of we touch on a few of the soldiers, but we don't really get to know them. But at the same time, you can still do a great war movie without that. Saving Private Ryan, one of the best war movies of all time. And you get sprinkles of the stories of the soldiers. But even then, Tom Hanks, right halfway through the movie, everyone's like, what the fuck was he doing before the war? And to break up that big fight, Lluvia, we got to do Saving Private Ryan at some point.
Yeah, for sure.
Halfway to the point,
I haven't even watched
Tom Cruise be like, I was a teacher? You know what I mean? It's they barely know each other. And they've been fighting for months plus.
Yeah.
Together. It's I don't even know what the fuck he did before we started killing people.
You know what? It's just the one thing I kind of wish from this film is I wish that we did get one black soldier that actually lived through this battle and heard from him afterwards. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I kind of just wish we had that. Because I think it would have been a powerful moment to, even if, you have him as an older man in the 20s and speaking to his grandkids or some shit like that and talking about, what that time meant for him. You know what I'm saying? What that day, that battle, what that meant is thou and seeing the future, come from the future that came from it. You know what I'm saying? I wish we got that. I think that would have been a powerful moment. I don't know who I'd want that to be. I think maybe it was Thomas. I think Thomas would have been the guy, the orator to kind of, send down that oral history, and keep it going. But the other part that really jumped out to me is obviously they have that kind of scuffle with the white Union soldiers. And then Morgan Freeman gets in there. He's like, stop it. And the guys is just like, says whatever to Morgan Freeman. He's just like, hey, I'm a commanding officer. And he's just like, essentially you're just a monkey with a badge right now. Yeah. And then Carrie L's just like, I'll have you, like kind of, like, oh, you want to fuck around? He's like, nah, it's good. It's just soldiers fighting. And then to see them as they're going out there for that last battle, and those guys, after seeing them on the actual battlefield and working together, and how they're just like, hey, give them hell, 54. It's just like, that's what bonds men, unfortunately. And like, that's that glue that brings people together, whether it be, across racial lines. It's just like, unfortunately, because we're fucking gorillas, a fucking common enemy. And like, and that's what we actually need, here, especially. It's just like, people have to be bonded through. It's like, all right, there's a common goal here. And unfortunately, our goal is so far in different directions that I don't know when we fucking get there. But that was a very powerful scene, and it was so quick, so fucking quick.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, it's war is a motherfucker, but you also like see the flaws in humanity that lead to war. You know what I mean? It's inevitable. That's why we're constantly at war on a global scale. Like it's wild that we can't just chill out. Everyone can't just chill the fuck out. Someone's always got to try to be the big dog. It's like, we got one life to live. Like the soldiers, these are real people. These are real people that dedicated their lives to fighting for some woman in America to have the right to shake her titties on TikTok. You know what I mean? And
well, you know what I think is also just the fact is that regardless of what's going on now or what's gone on in the past, if everything that you do matters, and you have the opportunity to change somebody's mind, and at least change their mind in a way of seeing another angle, and the humanity in others, right? And listen, it ain't fucking easy. I know that shit ain't easy, but like, I know some people who probably weren't going to be fucking with me or anybody else that looks like me, but they've had a good experience, with me, which kind of changed shit just a little bit for them, where it softened them to the idea that blacks ain't that bad. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you don't know for sure, but but also at the same time, I also feel like, we're losing our fucking radar on being able to pick up on that shit because niggas have gotten way too soft and they think shit is sweet.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Like that's the thing is like, respectfully, there's some people years ago. I mean, it's different. It's different, right? When you were protesting online because it was during the pandemic, the George Floyd stuff and everything. But there's some people that still follow that same, like they think that their tweets or Instagram posts are like their form of protest. I'm like, I mean, if you really want to have impact, it's gotta be more than that. It's gotta be more than that. But at the same time, I'm not gonna lie, I'm fucking tired because I'm also tired of being like the most informed person.
Yeah.
Like I'm not like obviously I have my thoughts. I gripe about things. I get really frustrated, upset about things that happen in the world. But I also like read and I learn stuff. I can't tell you how many people I've had chats with who are like also complaining about the same things, but they don't know even a quarter of the shit I'm talking about. I'm like, how are you how are you more outraged than I am? And you don't even know all the stuff. Or some people are saying wild opposite shit. And you're like, what, where'd you get that from? A video on YouTube? Okay. We're not on the same planet. we're not, it's very frustrating.
All
these platforms thrive on that.
But you know what? Everyone has their way of doing things because everyone's situation is different. And, we can't, we have to, in a way, kind of, appreciate where people are at that point. And then, maybe through you or through things that they see or are exposed to, it will elevate them to the next level of consciousness, with what's going on. But like, it's tough. It's tough, man. I know. Cause like I see people who I've known for years and I respect, or I thought I respected. And then I see the shit that they're posting. I'm just like, who the fuck are you? And you know what my thing is? I'm not erasing them because I want to see what the fuck's going on because I'm going to hold you to task the next time I fucking see you. You know what I'm saying? But also I feel like I don't want to engage. I also want to see what they're fucking saying. I want to see all your fucking bullshit. And then you know, because I'm just formulating fucking arguments. Maybe I should have been a lawyer.
Oh, alternate world. Justin's over here being Justin Cochran.
Well, actually, you know, when I went to the Marine Corps, I planned on doing JAG. I was going to do military law. Well, I was going to be a lawyer. That was actually my plan. But you know, they were way too racist for my blood, so I was just like, "Fuck these niggas."
Still should have taken the LSAT. Just give yourself options, man. You can still take it.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay,
I'm good.
So the 54th Infantry, Jesus, they fight at Fort Wagner after having a successful campaign at securing the foothold at Charleston Harbor. Then they're told basically they're told that they need infantry to be the first to go approach for the attack in the open beach. Yeah. And Shaw volunteers them because he's like, you know, we're honorable men. I want to show people what our soldiers can do. They have heart. They're underestimated. Like, let us fucking take the lead. And they do. I mean, that night before, like, you know, everyone like comes together because they kind of know that we might die tomorrow. Like, it's not a good situation. And they suffer some heavy losses, man. It's a brutal last 20 minutes or so. You know, Shaw, he leads the charge, gets shot at real quick. Denzel then picks up the flag. He gets shot at real quick after, you know, continuing the charge. It's implied that a lot of other soldiers, like Thomas, like Andre Brower's character, Morgan Freeman, they might have died because they get to another part of the beach and they're facing like cannons from the Confederacy, right? And you see the Confederacy like cleaning up their beach camp and like throwing the bodies in a mass grave and stuff.
So basically what happened in real life is that it was basically that one infantry at a time or one unit at a time could actually get up that space because it was like a bottleneck, right?
Yeah.
So they went first, and the plan is like they're kind of breaking it, and then other soldiers were going to come and attack from other angles and whatnot. Yeah, well, it didn't work out. Fort Wagner was never taken.
Yep.
Like, yeah, it was never taken. They actually Shaw. Colonel Shaw was actually thrown into the mass grave, you know, with, you know, the Negro soldiers, and which is definitely a departure from the way things typically were, especially being like a general. They would actually ship the body back, but they just buried him with everybody else. And mainly because he was leading, you know, a black unit, which his family was kind of just like, you know what? That's actually okay with us because he should be with his men that he fought so valiantly with and things like that. But again, that's war was looked at in a completely different way at that time. But like, yeah. So like, and the black soldiers, white soldiers, everybody died there as far as a Union. But but that battle did kind of turn, you know, Washington. So Lincoln and such would be like, hey, we need to train black infantry because I think they realized at that point. Yeah, this is like these motherfuckers are not playing games.
Yeah, Daniel Day-Lewis put on his little top hat and was like, we have to get more soldiers. Because he played Lincoln. All right.
I know.
Justin, read our letterbox reviews, baby.
First of all, stop calling me baby son. But guys, guys, you know that you know, we got Patreon, so we're gonna get some Patreon reviews if we got any. But we also have letterbox. So up first we have Film Ape, who wrote, I like this film more when it was remade with Tom Cruise playing a samurai. 3.5 stars. How dare you, Film Ape? Damn. How dare you? Yeah, next one up is from Ava Ador. Cannot believe Matthew Broderick, who killed 2 people in Ireland in 1987, ended racism. Shocking story. 3.5 stars. I don't know what that's referring to. Is that a film?
What?
I mean, did he kill 2 people in Ireland in a film or something like that?
No, it happened in real life.
What?
Yeah. Car accident.
Oh,
you didn't know about that?
No.
Yeah. Wasn't Sarah Jessica Parker with him? Yeah, yeah. It's like a famous thing that happened. I think 2000s or something like that. Yeah.
Oh well,
it occasionally comes up in interviews.
Hey, you know what? Lindsay Lohan ran over some people in the Hamptons. Who cares, right? Look at Bruce Jenner or Caitlyn Jenner. All right. Anyhow, up next, we have Adam. Adam wrote, serves them right for trying to tussle with the Union. Redneck Southern boys couldn't handle the sauce. Dumbasses thought they could secede and call it a day. USA, hoorah. Okay. 4 stars.
Okay.
Well, Adam,
I was really worried I was going to go the other way in that review.
So did I.
I was really nervous.
Thank you for being on the right side of history, Adam. Up next, we have Film Buff Soul. Okay. Who the fuck thought Ferris Bueller would make a good army general? 3.5 stars. Okay.
Yeah, it is frustrating. Like, honestly, like, I don't know, man. It's like 89. It's weird to me because I would have cast at that time, but maybe he was too expensive. I would have cast Christian Slater because you kind of need a crazy white boy. You kind of need someone who's like crazy enough to do what Matthew Broderick would do, but the war, like the beginning, kind of tamed him down a little bit. But it's like, you still got that old dog in you, don't you? One more time. You got it. Like Matthew Broderick just played him kind of flat the whole time. And I think we could have used someone with a little bit more fire at that time. And so I'm thinking Christian Slater because he had just done Heathers. This is before like Robin Hood and like
fuck that man. No Christian Slater. Give me Kevin Bacon.
He's too old.
I don't care. I want Kevin Bacon.
I mean, I would love Kevin Bacon, but he was older than Cary Elves. That wouldn't have made no sense based on what you said earlier.
But he was man enough. He would have fought 4 niggas for the Union.
Oh man, Kevin Bacon would have been awesome. But yeah.
All right. Up next, we have Finch Sam. I get the perspective argument. It's a very good argument. Tell you what, though, this is a damn good movie, no matter how you slice it, and you'll find some of Denzel's very best work here. 100%. 4 stars. Okay.
Cool.
And then last but not least, we have Tentin Quarantino. Okay. All right. The Hollywoodness of this film is suffocating. The white savior stuff is more gross than the exploding head. Otherwise, it's probably the best Civil War film. Not like there's much competition, though. 4 stars. That is very true. There are not many films about the Civil War.
No.
Which is very interesting, considering that is the only war outside the American Revolution that was fought on our soil. You know what I'm saying? Well, in French Revolution and, well, not French Revolution, French Indian War, things like that. But like, it's very interesting that we don't have much about, and I think it's because, you know, the revisionist history is just like, it wasn't about slavery. Yes, it was.
100%. It's a revisionist history. It's the way that it's taught across the country. There's no full consensus the way there should be on it. You saw the reenactments where people get the cosplay that the South won. You know, there's some people down south that are like, the South will rise again and shit. Like, there's so many reasons why there's not, there hasn't been another Civil War film like that takes place in this era. It's also incredibly expensive too. So I don't think unless you have a surefire script and cast, I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. But we did get one Patriot thought on Glory, and folks, remember we sign up at Patreon at patreon.com/media popcorn. Guaranteed to have your thoughts, reviews of that movie right on that episode. It's from Jay Brooks, who wrote, "Niggas acting." That's it. That's the message.
There you go.
All right, just to break down our racism, baby.
Stop calling me baby. Guys, you know how we do this. We rate movies bags of popcorn, small, medium, large, and the XL. Really exceptional. If a film doesn't deserve any hot, buttery, delicious popcorn that you put over your disgustingly chapped feet from walking around in non-issued military boots all day, we throw it into the stale popcorn pile. We pile piles of stale popcorn on top of it. So, Brandon, we sat down and watched the 1989 film Glory. Denzel Washington, Morgan Freeman, Matthew Broderick. What say you, sir?
Yeah, this gets a large. I surprisingly enjoyed it. Like, not like it was like a fun watch or anything like that, but the acting is just, you got Andre Braugher, Denzel, and Morgan Freeman, like acting in scenes together, and they're all bringing their A game. Like, I can't ask for anything more. You know what I mean? As a movie fan, Matthew Broderick, like I said, he's fine. I just wish, like, man, if they had like another actor in there, a stronger actor, this movie would be an all timer probably. But because of that, it's like it's frustrating, right? Because it's like almost there. You know what I mean? But nonetheless, I completely understand why Denzel won his first Oscar for this movie. It should have been for Mo Better Blues. Actually, Mo Better Blues comes after this, so I'm happy with it winning his Oscar for this. It's 89. So
fair.
What about you, Justin?
I'm gonna give this a large as well. Like, I really like this film. I thought they did an amazing job with it. I think it still holds up. The acting was great, with the exception of Matthew Broderick. But I think that as the film went on towards the end, he kind of stepped it up a little bit. But I could see exactly why him and Carrie Elves didn't necessarily get along very much on the set of this film, because if Carrie Elves was in that role, I think it would have worked a lot better. But then again, Matthew Broderick is playing like, a pampered boy who's in the position because of his father. And I think he's a little who he is as a person is a little bit more indicative of that kind of role. Just visually, he kind of, fits into that role. So I understand why they went with him over Carrie Elves, though. Either way, I think it's definitely a large for me. And I think it also has some strong rewatchability.
Yeah, for sure. Our producer Lluvia in the chat saying if Nicholas Hoult was of age at the time, he would have been a good cast for that. Yeah, I mean, if we're talking like now, there's so many young, especially young white actors. Timothée Chalamet probably would have fucking done this role. There's so many. There's a lot of really strong actors. I mean, even black actors that could do this right now, but it wouldn't be the same as getting like that trifecta of Andre, Morgan, and Denzel. But yeah, I mean, there's so many other actors, especially back at that time, that would have been even fucking. Who would have been a crazy pick, but could have worked because I think he had the edge? Rob Lowe. Late 80s, right after some of those St. Elmo's Fire and shit. He might have been a little bit too old. Like, I think he and Carrie Elves are probably around the same age, but they're supposed to be best friends. Fuck it. Like, I got really frustrated, like, watching Matthew Broderick in this movie. Like, cause it's like he's just doing the lines and it's fine. Yeah. You know what I mean? He's getting the job done, but someone else could have killed that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it is what it is, folks.
I agree.
That's what we got. That's what we got for you. I'm back. We back. Medium Popcorn. Follow us at Medium P Podcast on Instagram and all other social media platforms. But Instagram's really where it's at. Follow us on YouTube at youtube.com/Medium P Podcast. And you can follow me at Frodo_Blackens on Instagram and Threads, FrodoBlackens.com for show dates. I'm on tour with Drunk Black History, so come out, learn some fun Black historical facts and stories, and get drunk with me. Come on, we'll do it. And then I'm also performing around the city and New Jersey and stuff like that. So again, FrodoBlackens.com for those show dates. And Justin, I could follow you as well. Support the show, baby.
Well, again, stop calling me baby. Stop calling me baby, Brandon. But I will also say, make sure you're following Tati too, Borica Collins. And again, thank her for stepping up and stepping in while Brandon took a little time for himself. We appreciate her. But you guys can follow me at J Brown Did It on all the social media platforms. I'm there. I'm ready. Come and see me, bitches.
Come and see him. Come see Justin.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing? What are they going to see?
Huh? That's just
all right,
social media.
We'll talk to y'all.
Medium popcorn. We are two niggas spoiling movies. Yeah. medium brown for your moving needs. Medium popcorn. Woo! You haven't seen it, well, we're gonna spoil it.
Spoil it in your face.
That's your warning. So if you get pissed, it's all your